Welcome to the Jill on Money podcast. It is Wednesday, February 3rd, and this is the program where we try to provide you with unconventional but also entertaining insights on your money and your life. Mark, remember when we wrote that a million years ago? Anyway, I'm Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst. He, the guy Mark that I refer to all the time, he is Mark Talercio, and he is the executive producer of my life and this show. And we're both certified financial planners. And we would love to hear from you because all we want to do with that CFP, that designation after passing those hard tests, is we want to try to help you out. Okay. So if you would like some financial assistance or advice, why don't you give us a holler? Email us, ask Jill at jillonmoney.com. And if you're on our website, jillonmoney.com, click the contact button, and that will bring you to us as well. And if you are willing to come on the air, all you have to do is say that, hey, I want to come on the air with you guys. Now, what is the benefit of coming on the air? I can actually ask you follow-up questions that you may not have thought to include in your email question. Also, it's just more fun because aren't you just more interested to hear two voices rather than one? I know that I am. So today we are delighted because Chloe is on the line and she is in Arizona. Welcome, Chloe. What can we do for you?
So I wrote into you because I have sort of a unique challenge in saving for retirement with my husband. My husband is undocumented, and because of all of the many laws that are involved in getting citizenship, it might be some time before he is eligible for his own social security number and before he's eligible, therefore, for retirement accounts.
Okay, let me just say one thing. So a lot of people listening might be surprised about this, that you can be married to a U.S. citizen and still not automatically become a U.S. citizen, right?
That is true. And
Okay.
it is especially true since the pandemic.
Okay, got it. Now, so tell me about yourselves. How do you support yourselves? What's going on?
Yep. So I am a teacher. I'm in my 16th year teaching, and he is a heavy equipment mechanic. So he works on diesel engines. We both have maintained employment through the pandemic. So we're very grateful for that. We own a home that's valued at about $350,000, and we have a 3-month emergency fund. We're working to get that to about a 6-month emergency fund. Cars are paid off, no consumer debt. I have an $11,000 student loan. Right now, I have a unique opportunity I have a 457 employer match. And this is the first year that I'm maxing that out.
Great. What's the interest rate on the mortgage?
3.875.
You own a house, it's worth $350,000, you have $160,000 left on that
Correct.
mortgage. The student loan, is it a federal student loan or a private student loan?
Yeah, it's a federal student loan.
So that's essentially at 0% right this second, right?
Correct. Correct.
Have you made payments during the pandemic when it was at 0%?
I've continued to make payments, yes.
Oh, that's good. You're on track to pay this off pretty quickly, right?
Yes, correct.
Good. Okay. Now, so you as a teacher, 16 years into the system, you have a pension. You also have a 457 plan. Now, tell me a little bit about that.
So the 457 plan there's a $1,200 match from my employer. And because I realized that my husband won't be able to open up his own IRA for an undefined period of time, I am thinking of the 457 as retirement for us both. Yeah. And so I'm maxing that out. So by the end of this year, that account will have, depending on the market, somewhere around $35,000 in it.
How much do you earn as a teacher?
So I make $70,000. I work for a charter school that has a pay for performance structure.
Wow. And how much does he earn?
He earns about $50,000 a year, give or take, depending on the year.
And he pays taxes on that 50 or not?
Correct. He does. He has to use something called an ITIN to pay. But yes, he is able to pay taxes.
Okay. So on that 120 grand a year, tell me about how's the cash flow?
So the cash flow month to month, we're meeting all of our expenses, mortgage, utilities, all that stuff, and we are able to save somewhere between. The picture has changed since I started making these big contributions to the
Mhm.
457. So
Mm.
I'd say now we have about $1,500 to $2,000 a month to save.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, this is great. You're doing great. Okay.
Thanks.
You're really doing great. So breathe. You're doing great. I'd like your emergency reserve fund to be a little bit closer to your 6-month target of
Yes.
emergency, right? So let's say that that's good. Okay. Now, what else is invested? You've got the 457 plan, you've got the emergency reserve. Do you have any other accounts that are out there floating around?
So I worked in another state. I have another pension where I invested.
Mm.
About 30. I know it's kind of tricky. I'm not sure what to do with that money. So it's 13,000, and so I'm not sure whether I should roll that over into a traditional IRA or if I
Mm.
leave it there because it will be a pension when I reach retirement age.
Is there any chance you would move back to that state?
No chance.
No, wow. Okay. I guess wasn't so great. I mean, look, it's $13,000. I know what state it is, but I'm not going to out you because I want to be clear about that. That state has an amazing pension plan, but it's only 13 grand. You know what I'm saying? So, if you just want ease of management, you could certainly roll it over into an IRA rollover wherever, like Fidelity, Vanguard, whatever. You know what I mean? So there's not, it doesn't really matter. I would only say to really keep it if there were more money in it and also if you thought you might go back there. But if you're not, it's okay to roll it over. I think that your game plan is terrific because essentially what you've done is you've said, I'm going to push as much money into retirement as we possibly can. You reduce your own taxable income, or even if you use a Roth, it's okay. You're putting that money aside, and then your husband's income can basically help float your general expenses. Okay. And so I think this is a good game plan. I do. Look, the federal student loan, you're probably on pace to pay it off by the end of this year-ish. Is that about right?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Okay. So, if you had a little extra money, I would like it that you not pay any interest on that. So, in the near term, if you have that $1,500 or 2,000, I think that what you might want to do is to take some of that 1,500, 2,000, and put it into the emergency reserve fund and also make a little extra money on the student loans because that interest is going to be real when it comes back into your life. I kind of want that to be paid off by the end of this year. So I think that those are the ways that I would use the 1,500 or 2,000 right now. I also want you to know that as you're doing this, don't be in a rush to pay off your mortgage. Don't. It's really, it's not worth it. And the other aspects of your financial life are going to come into clearer focus, obviously, as time moves on. And if he is able to gain citizenship, and you can do that, then we can start talking about like what are his options for creating a retirement fund, and you can do more of that. So I think it sounds good to me. It sounds like you're doing exactly what you should be doing.
Okay. So walking away from the pension because it is a fairly nominal amount is okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to walk away from it. You're going to roll it over. It's a direct rollover into an IRA rollover account.
Okay.
Mark said you wanted to have kids. Is that right?
Yeah. So we're hoping soon to have one or two children, and I know that will change the picture significantly. Um,
Yes. And you may not have that 1,500 or 2,000 extra. So if that's the case, just to remind you again, if you don't have that surplus money, it's even more important for you to have the student loan debt paid down by the time you have kids or by the end of this year, to have the 6-month emergency reserve fund, even put some extra money in there just because it's expensive to have kids. And do not put any money into a education fund until we get more of your retirement savings rolling, okay?
That sounds like a great plan to me. I got no help with college and I still managed to do it. So I feel pretty
Well,
good.
you sound just like Mark in that respect. Of course, since you're contemplating children, I want to remind you to have your estate planning done. So right now you would have a simple will with you and your husband. I don't even know how that works with undocumented, but you should talk to a lawyer about that. And when you have children, it will become even more important. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Good luck. Keep on keeping on. Well done.
Thank you so much.
If you, like Chloe, need some advice, we would love to help you out. All you need to do is send us an email, askjill@jillonmoney.com, askjill@jillonmoney.com. And by the way, if you're on our website because you wanted to sign up for our free weekly newsletter, which is fantastic, don't forget that you can always hit us up right from the website, the contact button. While you are on that website, there's all sorts of fun things for you. You can read, you can listen, you can watch, you can do all sorts of fun things. And you can also make sure that you are subscribing to this podcast. You can do it from the website. You can do it wherever you're listening right now and pass it along because we need you. We need our people. It's the Jill on Money tribe. I love it. Wash your hands, wear your masks, maintain your physical distancing, lift somebody up today. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.